Hi, in this tutorial we are going to make anime style hair. We are making basic parts you can use for other models, like bangs, long strands, base, buns, and accessories. This is our character without hair, so let's make one. We are going to add curve, path. S to scale, G to grab and move up. 3 for side view and move to front. Rotate 90 degrees. In the Edit mode, select vertices and move them to follow the shape of our head. E to extrude and move down. You need lower resolution because when we create relatively low poly models, we don't want too many vertices when we convert it in mesh. Add curve, circle. Scale and move. In the Edit mode, select all and subdivide to get more vertices. Select path. In the Object Data property, select bevel, object, your circle. This path is now the shape of the circle. Select circle, lower resolution. Scale circle by x-axis, maybe different axis for you, watch your path, changing shape. When you go to the Edit mode, you can adjust it more. Select path, Ctrl 2 to add subdivision surface, right-click and shade smooth. Let's scale it a little bit more. We can flatten it more in the Edit mode. Go to the Edit mode, Alt-S to scale points. Back to the Object mode, duplicate it and position. Duplicate again. Let's change our rotation and position it. Adjust it more, scale if you have too much space in between. Let's duplicate it again. Go to the Edit mode and scale because we want these parts thinner. Just grab and move. Look from different sides to check. Don't worry if everything isn't perfect yet because we are going to position it later too. Let's duplicate it and move it. Let's select all and convert to mesh. Ctrl 2 and right-click Shade Smooth. Now when you go to the Edit mode, you can use proportional editing to move and adjust more precisely. Play with it. Let's go from sides and check our model. We are going to move bangs to the front a little bit. Also, you can alt-click between vertices to select a loop and use proportional editing to scale. If you select all and Ctrl J, you are joining mesh. And if you press M, you can move it to the collection, and let's make a new one and rename it. Here. Now, if you go to the Edit mode, you can select a vertex and press L to select all lengths. If you do Ctrl I, select all inverted and H to hide them. Now you want to select this vertex and press V to move and duplicate vertex. Do the same for the back part. Ctrl R to add loops from both sides. Select these two vertices, press slash to see the object, and M to merge at center. Do the same for the bottom part and select both vertices, merge at center. Add the loop with Ctrl R. One more, and one from the back. Let's move vertices to flatten a little bit. We don't need proportional editing. Now we can select 4 and F to create a face. Press 2 on keyboard to go to the edge select and press F to make another face. Ctrl R to make a loop cut. Ctrl R to add a loop. Another way to create a face is by pressing 2 edges and F. Let's add more supporting loops to the front and back. Continue filling by selecting one edge and F. Ctrl R to add another loop and slide it down. If you want to change your shape, you can uncheck subdivision to see better. Select vertices and move them. Let's alt-click on the edge and change crease to 1. N is the shortcut for this menu. Let's select edges too and change to 1. You can check view and subdivision surface. Alt-H to unhide. Select edge and L to select all lengths and H to hide. V to duplicate and move vertex for both sides. Ctrl R to add loops from both sides. Select these two vertices and M merge at center like we did before. Repeat for the bottom part. Add more loop cuts from front and back. V to duplicate and move. Ctrl R for loops. Merging vertices at center. More loops to support our model. We need to fill the bottom part. Move vertices to flatten a little bit. Select 4 and F to fill. Edge select, select 1 and F to fill. We are adding more loop cuts. Select 2 edges and make a face and continue creating faces. Let's alt-click on the edge and move it and create another one. Adjust it to your desired shape. This ends too. Let's fill it. Create loop cuts for support. Select edges and set mean crease to 1. Change some parts so it's not so uniform. We are adding some loops to change the shape. Let's select this part and move it down. Add a loop to follow our shape. Let's fill this part the same way. Add supporting loop. We can use proportional editing to move our shape. Let's delete this part and duplicate this one. Mirror X. Repeat for this part, V to move vertices, Ctrl R to add the loops, select vertices from both sides and M merge at center. Adjust. Add loops for both sides. Select vertices and merge at center. Again, we are going to adjust and fill. Add more supporting loops. Creating faces for this part too. Select the vertex V and move and repeat for the back. Ctrl R to create more geometry. Select these two vertices and M merge at center. Repeat for these vertices. Select this edge and move it and create another loop. Finish filling the bottom. Grab and move vertices to fix your shape. Add supporting loops. Select edges and set mean increase to 1. Finish filling this part. Use proportional editing for adjusting your final shape. Just grab a vertex with proportional editing on and move it. Let's say you want to change this shape a little bit. Let's Alt select some edges and move them to create a different fringe. Use proportional editing. You can use this part and duplicate it for longer strands. As we did before, select a vertex and move it with proportional editing. Let's select bottom faces and move them without proportional editing to create a longer strand. E to extrude, move and extrude again. Let's play with the shape and rotate it along the Z-axis. Let's make it longer, E to extrude. Let's delete bottom faces and practice more. V to split, move and create more geometry with loops. Then select two vertices you want to merge and repeat. M merge at center. More loops to support our shape. Fill by creating faces. And of course more loops, like we did before. Select edges and set mean increase to 1. Using proportional editing, create the shape you want. Add a mirror modifier and select body as our mirrored object. Let's make the rest of the hair. Shift A, add round cube. Set to 1 and scale down. Position it and rotate. Ctrl 2 to add subdivision and right-click Shade Smooth. Go to the front view and select X-ray, delete half. Add a mirror modifier, move to first and select clipping. Use proportional editing to shape the hair. Apply subdivision with level 1 to get more vertices. Select faces you want to extrude to bun. Right-click Loop Tools, Circle. Now move and extrude, scale, extrude and scale again. If you don't see because of subdivision, just uncheck it and we are scaling this edge. Let's select this edge and scale it down. Change mean increase to 1. Now we want to move this bottom part, but if we use proportional editing, we are going to move buns too. So we need to select and hide these parts. Now we can use proportional editing and adjust visible parts. Unhide parts. Let's fix our hairline. Select vertices along our hairline. Use X-ray, hide them and delete the part you don't need, then unhide. Let's hide this so you can see better. Select snapping, select vertices one by one and snap to face. Delete unwanted ones to move and create a desired hairline shape. Hide these just to see what are we doing. For the hair tie, select a loop, duplicate and separate selection. Let's change some names. Scale, extrude, and shade smooth. Select and extrude. We have mirror modifier, and if we change origin to geometry, we would have to mirror our base body. Let's make it a little bit thicker. The other way of shaping your model is sculpting. We can use brushes to smooth and shape our hair. Using inflate brush to make our buns larger. If you need more geometry, create a loop. Let's make bows. Add Bezier curve, scale, rotate. Position vertices one by one. You can skip this part if you don't need this kind of accessories. We are just grabbing, moving, scaling. Let's check our face orientation. For red parts, go to the Edit mode, select All and Shift-N to recalculate normals. We made all basic parts you're going to need for creating anime hair. With a Toon Shader, it looks like this. Thank you for watching.